Right. So we're getting into day three of our notes on persuasive speaking. We've already talked about how we speak to, we persuasively speak to change, reinforce, or create attitudes and behaviors in people, right? Attitudes are our feelings, behaviors are our actions. Then from there, we talk about the elaboration likelihood model and how likely we are to really think about something whenever we are being persuaded, or how it can also go along the peripheral route where we don't really think about it that much, but we can still make a decision. The whole idea of sometimes we just do things on autopilot and sometimes we actively do think about things. But that being said, today we're talking about something that you have probably seen in your sophomore class or maybe even your English class or any of your English classes, which is Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So if you're not familiar with this, Maslow is a psychologist. I think he lived in the early 1900s, and he basically established this theory that we as human beings need certain things, okay? And they're broken down into our basic needs, our psychological needs, and then our self-fulfillment needs. So let's go ahead and take a moment to talk about the basic needs first. So with basic needs, you're stranded on a desert island. What's the first thing you do? You try to look for food, right? You try to look for water. You try to come up with a way to survive. So that's where things start. Physiological needs are food, water, warmth, and rest. The idea that as we go through life, we do need to have these things. Otherwise, we will not physiologically survive. I was talking with my wife about how we were talking about climate change, and then I think that she said that the human body can withstand, I think, 130 degrees Fahrenheit, but probably only for about 30 minutes, and then after that, brain damage is going to start to occur. So we are very fragile people, and so if we don't have food, water, warmth, rest, we will die. And so it's important to make sure that that does not happen, and we try to avoid it at all costs. Then we move into the safety needs. So, of course, back to the example of you being stranded on a desert island, you go from needing food and water to then wanting shelter. You want security, you want safety. That's why when people are housed, they feel safer, right? That's why when we see people that are unhoused or homeless, if you will, it does make we kind of worry about them because they don't have safety, they don't have protection from the weather, the elements, or anything like that. Next, we move on to psychological needs. So let's start with belongingness and love. I don't know if you guys have read Of Mice and Men. I don't know if you've seen any Disney movie at all or any anime ever, but essentially, friendship is really important. It's important to let people know in your life that you do care about them. So if you once you have your basic needs met, the next step is to have friends or to essentially have feel like you belong somewhere, have a community. And so by doing that, you're able to move into the next one, which is your self-esteem. Your esteem is the prestige and feeling of accomplishment. So if you get the solo in the choir concert, then that's going to help your esteem, right? If you get a section leader or you get elected class officer, that's going to help your self-esteem. If someone tells you, "Hey, you've been working really hard, and I can see that," that's going to help your self-esteem. But then the last one, self-fulfillment. So this one is always the one that's the weirdest to explain because a lot of teachers teach it as living your best life. And I think that that's a good definition, but I feel like it's a little bit more complicated than that. The idea of self actualization is that you have reached your full potential. It is the idea that as you have gone through life, the things that you like to do, you have gotten to the point where you are fulfilled in doing that. When Beethoven created his masterpiece, whenever someone that was a politician, they got to be elected president. That's self-actualization. They have fulfilled the potential of something that they thought they could do. For teachers to be self-actualized, I would say that it's more along the lines of, all your students pass, or you convince other teachers or you convince other students to become teachers, or you get an award in which you're one of the best teachers. Miss Lagletter, who teaches here at Warren High School, she teaches AP US History. I would say that she has reached self-actualization with her profession. She is one of the best AP US History teachers in the country. She won tickets to Hamilton, got them delivered by Lin-Manuel Miranda. She is legit. And I know that a couple of you do have her, and I know that her class is great. But yes, anytime that I talk about a student with Miss Lager, we're like, oh man, we had so much work, but she's such a great teacher, and she is. And so I would venture to say that she's one of those teachers that have actually reached self-actualization, which is where she has achieved her full potential. But the crazy thing is, she's still working on improving that. Now, the slides themselves basically go over what I just talked about: physiological needs, air, water, food, sleep, activity; safety and security needs, stability, protection, structure, and order; love and belonging needs, friends, children, loved ones, affections; and esteem needs, respect of others, status, glory, fame, attention, and self respect; and then self actualization needs, being needs or be needs that we have grow to allow our individuals to meet their full potential. So, again, I kind of talked about it throughout the chart, but you can always go back and look at these if you need some clarification. But that is going to be it for our notes on persuasive speaking for today, and we will move on.